struggling to set up a secure and efficient network for your home or office? What if you could master Windows networking, from configuring home groups and work groups to sharing files and printers like a pro IT technician? In this video, I'll show you step-by-step how to configure Windows networking, share resources securely, and optimize your network for seamless collaboration. Whether you're preparing for an IT certification or just want to streamline your network, these tips will save you time and keep your data safe. Ready to become a networking expert? Let's dive in. Configure Windows networking on a workstation. Once the computers are connected to a network, it is still necessary to configure certain services to ensure their proper functioning on this network. We will see in this course the differences between HomeGroup, WorkGroup, and some notions of Microsoft domain. Next, we'll look at the different network profiles that Windows can offer. And finally, we'll see how to share folders, files, disks, or printers on a local network. Configuration of HomeGroup, WorkGroup, and domain. So let's start with the domain configuration. To begin with, do you know what the HomeGroup and the WorkGroup are? Well, these are sharing groups that facilitate and secure the exchange of documents and printers within a local network under Windows. The HomeGroup is rather intended for a particular use. A user on the network can create a home group so that other users can join and easily share files such as images, music, videos, or other documents. This group is password protected and usually only needs to be entered once when you add the computer to the group. So be careful, because you should know that the HomeGroup service was available for versions from Windows 7 to Windows 10. But that support stopped after the update to version 1803. So if you are already on Windows 11, well, this feature does not exist. So let's see how to create a home group. Then it is possible that you have already created a home group because it is an option that is offered at the time of the first connection to a network. If you want to start the process again, simply follow these steps. From the Start menu, type HomeGroup and open Settings. Click on Create a Home Group. Then choose the folders you want to share within that group. And finally, make a note of the password so that you can add the other computers to this group. Now let's see how to add a computer. In the Start menu, type HomeGroup and open Settings. Then click Join. Choose the folders you want to share. Click Next, and finally, enter the password for the home group. And there you have it. You have joined the home group, work group. Now, let's talk about the work group, which is more intended for small companies with a small number of workstations. The work group allows file sharing in a non-centralized way over a small network. That is to say, rather than storing files on a central server, well, each computer on the network will be able to share folders and files. The main advantage of the workgroup is that small businesses don't need to invest in a file server, which could be quite an expensive investment. So, how do you create and join a workgroup? Well, it's very simple because by default, Windows 10 is already configured with a workgroup called WorkGroup. If this default name suits you, you can keep it. But it is even advisable to change it. So here are the steps to create a new work group. Click on the Start menu and type System. Open Control Panel. Next, open the Advanced System Settings. In the System Properties window, open the Computer Name tab and click Change. And in the Change Computer Name or Domain window, this is where you can change the name of the work group to the one you want. For the example, I put Groupie 2. And finally, all you have to do is restart the computer so that the change is taken into account. So you should know that the work group is not at all suitable for large companies. In this case, it will be more of a domain that will have to be used, and that's precisely what we're going to see right away. Domain. A Microsoft domain is a way to manage of user accounts, computers, data sharing, or printers, and all this centrally using a database located on a server. This server is called Domain Controller, and Microsoft's domain service is called Active Directory. This is the Active Directory, which provides a centralized authentication service to validate access to the network. It is therefore the role of the domain controller to verify the username and password in order to allow or deny access to the network to a user. The Active Directory simplifies the lives of IT professionals and end users while strengthening the security of the company, because the main advantage is that the support technicians and system administrators have centralized management of users in terms of their access rights. So you should know that the Active Directory usually runs on a Windows server. Now let's look at how to join a domain. To get started, click on the Start menu and type in System. Open the Control panel. Next, open the Advanced System Settings. Then in System Properties, open the Computer Name tab and click on Network ID. Select that this computer belongs to a corporate network checkbox, then click Next. Select My company uses a network with a domain. Review the information required to join a domain and click Next. And finally, enter your username, password, and domain name. Then be careful, because the administrator of the domain will have to approve your account before you can log in. Home, Work, and Public Network Profiles. Now, let's see the differences between the network profiles: Home, Work, and Public. Laptops, as you know, are usually moved around and therefore exposed to different networks. That's why Windows classifies connections to different networks into 3 categories: the Home Network, the Desktop Network, Work, and the Public Network. This window that classifies the network, and which you must have already seen, is done at the time of the first connection. The Home Network is the network that is in your home. Windows then considers it a trusted network. For example, shared folders on this network will be accessible to all users on the network. The Office network is a trusted network in the workplace. In this mode, some options will not be activated, such as the home group. And finally, the public network is certainly the most restrictive mode, because if you are in a public place, well, you certainly wouldn't want everyone on the network to be able to access your computer. That's why this profile locks all shares, so as not to expose your data to other users on the same public network. Disk and folder sharing. Now let's move on to network sharing. On Windows systems, you can share on the same network: folders, files, but also disks. Let's first see how to share a folder. First, right-click on the folder you want to share and open the Properties window. Then, on the Sharing tab, click on Advanced Sharing. And all you have to do is check Share this folder. You can also change the sharing permissions. If you click on Permissions, then you will be able to select which users have access to the folders and who do not, as well as manage permissions to read and edit files. Now, we will see how to list shared folders. To get started, right-click on the Start menu icon and open Computer Management. Then, in the tree on the left, expand the Shared Folders folder and the Shares folder. This is where you can view the folder we just shared, as well as the folders that are already shared by default. Now, here is the procedure to add a network location. Start by opening File Explorer and clicking This PC, then right-clicking in the void in order to add a network location. Enter the network path of the folder you want to share. Click Next a few times and you'll be able to see that the folder will be directly accessible through the Explorer. And to finish this part, let's see how to connect a network drive. In File Explorer, right-click on This PC, then on Connect a Network Drive. Then choose one letter for the disk and specify its network path. After clicking Finish, your network drive will be accessible via File Explorer, Printer Network Sharing. And to finish off the course, we're going to see the printer network share. The idea here is to be able to share a printer connected locally to a workstation to the entire network. Here are the steps to share a printer. In the Control Panel, open the Printers and Scanners settings. Then select the local printer to share over the network and click Manage. Then, in the Printer settings, click on Printer Properties. In this new window, go to the Share tab and check Share this printer, and all you have to do is click on Apply to validate. Now, here are the steps to add a network printer. Still in the Control Panel, open Printers and Scanner settings and click on Add a printer or scanner. When Windows finds the printer, you can add it, and if the printer can't be found, you can click on I can't find the printer you're looking for in the list and search for the printer yourself, with a list of models or by directly entering its network path.